Hello, hello, hello. It's Peg here, and I have another 15 minutes of art journaling for you this morning. This is part of a month-long art journaling project called NaNoJourmo, or 15-minute NaNoJourmo, depending on which group you belong to. And I wanted to share the process of making this page with you, so I videotaped as I was working. First thing I did was to work with some Tim Holtz distress paints. This is Salty Ocean, and I am using a stencil by Judikins. It's a kite stencil, and it is called Bubbles, I believe. Bubble Curtain. And so I use a baby wipe with that particular stencil to remove or knock back some of the paint and kind of give the illusion of clouds in the sky. Not really clouds, they're kind of imaginary clouds, shall we say. And then I move on to peel paint for the bottom, and used another stencil down there just to repeat what I had done in the background above. Then I used some distress inks around the edges of my pages just to kind of highlight or put a frame, just so to speak, around the edges of the pages and draw your eye a little bit more towards the middle. And then I proceeded to find some papers out of some 6x6 paper packs. These are some that I had picked up at Tuesday morning. They are probably last year's models because I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on things like this. So yeah, I'm looking at the label on this, said regular price $19.99, our price $2.99. So you can see you can save quite a bit by doing a little shopping around and maybe not getting the latest and greatest. So I found a few coordinating papers. It's nice working out of these paper packs because they do coordinate. And when you're working with a 6x6 paper, the designs that are in those papers are a smaller design or a smaller pattern. And that's because you're working in a smaller book. And that's exactly what I have here. This is the Small Delusions Journal. And when you're working in a smaller book, you don't want great big patterns of a 12x12 paper. You want something that's going to look right on that page. So I'm assembling a house here, and as I'm working, I'm thinking, oh, let's make it a birdhouse. So I put it up on a pedestal and created a little door opening. Now, that was the end of the 15 minutes of journaling, and I didn't want to stop here. I hope you didn't want me to stop here either, because the page is very incomplete and needed a lot more work. So I continue filming and working, and I cut a little bunting or flag banner out and tried it on the page. I wasn't real crazy about that, and then I flipped through my paper packs and I found this bright cherry yellow, and I thought, oh, that'll really brighten up the page. And I thought, oh, it's kind of sunny. It's a bright sunny yellow. Let's make a sun. It's got cute little hearts on it, which is where I am this morning. Hearts and sunshine and flowers. So that's kind of where the direction of my page is headed. And so I'm cutting some rays for my sun and gluing those down. I am using for this project today the Inkcentral glue stick or collage stick. it's acid free and all that good stuff, but I found that working with the wet media like matte medium, I was having a difficult time. It was just taking too long to dry, and as you can see, I can't even get um, the first half of this page done in the 15-minute constraint. So I'm saying that with the way I work, it's going to take me longer than 15 minutes, but I can cut back on some of the time just by the products that I'm choosing to use on my page. So now, I'm into the flowers too, and the rule of three is coming into play here. The rule of three about um, odd numbers being more pleasing to the eye. And I tried several different papers, and I decided that the text paper looked the most interesting and went with my page the best. So I picked the text paper, and then I had a few more flower punches, and so I punched some of the yellow hearts and put those in the center, and that wasn't enough. It just still was saying, oh, I need something. So I tried punching some more things, and still wasn't happy. I tried several different papers, wasn't happy. That's part of playing with these things is, you know, keep on trying something, put it down if you don't like it. It's paper piecing, so you can come back and try something else. And in the long run, I was happy with what I did, and waiting and trying different things, because I found this paper that was kind of like a chalkboard paper. It had words and things on it, and I think the black just helped those flower centers pop the way they should. So that's kind of what I went with. Now I could continue to layer. I've got some stamen and things that I could put in there, but we're trying to keep this brief. So I move on to the stems. I find some green paper that kind of matches what I'm doing on the page, and I'm going to create those stems and leaves for my flowers, and just trimming up and clipping off on the bottom, and working my way across the page. I continue to cut out pieces and layer them on here. Now, as you can see, the paper itself is nice on the page, but it's going to need some things to make it pop. That green kind of fades into the background of the green underneath, which is okay. When you look at flowers in the yard and all of that kind of stuff, it kind of does that. But I will be doing some highlighting and making that come forward a little bit. So I trim out the page because I had some paper pieces that were overlapping, and I am fussing with that roof line because it overlaps onto the second page, and when you're folding pages back and forth and you've got a paper piece across it like that, it pulls on that page because it's not creased the same as the paper that's underneath. So eventually what I do is cut through that piece so that I can glue it partially on one page and then onto the other, and it will flip open and closed without pulling on the pages in the book or ruining my page in the future. Now I've moved on. I've got my Stabilo All pencil. If you don't have these pencils, I would highly recommend them. They seem to work over just about everything. I guess they're supposed to work on smooth, shiny surfaces as well as all of these paper and media. And it's a water-based pencil, so you can go back in and hit it with your wet brush as I'm doing and do your shadowing, and that's going to make those pieces come to life on the page. These pencils come in an assortment of colors. I could have used a blue or a gray or some other color to do the highlighting with. The black was on my desk, so keeping with the theme here, we want to get this page done. I just kept working with what was out and went around those stems, and you can see now how they are popping off the page and looking more like the flower stem and not being so hidden into the background. So I'm working quickly, and so I've got a few little bloopers there, but that's okay. I'm just going to keep working and getting a little shadow in the doorway of the house, and going to put some shadowing under the roof line and underneath the edge of the house, and yeah, just doing what I can to kind of enliven that image. So then, of course, we do need some kind of title or saying on the page, and so I find my blue food ball pen. These are excellent pens also for writing on this mixed media surface. And so these come in, I believe, red, blue, and black. They don't have a white, but I do have the red, blue, and black. And I created my title. Home is where the heart lives. And then I come back in with a red Pitt pen, just adding a few more highlights, and that's about it. So thanks for stopping by. Be sure and like and share, and I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this page. It was a fun one to do, and I hope you join the project. It may be a little bit late. That's okay. We're on day 10. We've still got the 20 more to go, so bye for now.